purposes.
Oh,
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are listening in or just now watching this thing, my name is Trip, and we are here live, or just really recording with my buddy Amos. You hear that blender in the background?
yes, I do. I hope it's a delicious drink.
It better be delicious. This is the best cafe in town, by the way.
It's the Elite Cafe.
Cafe Elite.
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest with you. They've been open over a little bit over a year now, and we've turned this place into something special.
You know,
I really love it.
I'm going to be dishonest with you. I think they should all dress like Smith from The Matrix. If everybody here was just like, Mr. Anderson, would you like a mocha cappuccino?
Do you think, though, that people would actually enjoy that? Mr. Smith, we
But
have
you gotta
your
have
raspberry.
the glasses. Yeah,
So you
gotta have the glasses.
You come in here in the suit. Just,
Yeah.
Mr. Anderson, your mocha is ready.
No, people wouldn't enjoy it. I would get kicked out of it.
No, we could do
Yeah.
it. We should do that on the open mic night and do a whole set about it.
Oh, yeah. Wait, and then have one person misunderstand the assignment and be like, oh, this is Men in Black. Bleep, with the light. Wrong thing, bro. Wrong thing.
They bring up the little neuralizer thing. Ooh,
Yeah. Hey,
Where'd
hey,
you get that?
no.
Where you get that?
No, wrong sci-fi, man. Wrong sci-fi.
Well, thank you for coming and talking to us today, or talking to me today, man.
Well, this is a privilege.
You know what?
Wait.
Just bring the mic closer to you, like that.
Okay.
And just
I mean-
talk normal. It's not like when you know how like when you're performing, you want to talk to the room. For this one, you just got to talk just normal.
right.
I know, right?
All right,
It's
well,
just
I'm
little
having a hard
different 'cause-
time with it because there's a delay and I hear myself, and so it's making me talk quieter
Here.
and slower.
Take one of those off.
Is that no? Okay, that's a little bit better. Yeah, that's a little bit better. I don't sound like I'm in a tunnel.
It takes a little bit of getting used to. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, okay, all
It
right.
really does because you're hearing yourself bounce back. But
Yeah,
the reason I like the headphones is because now we get to hear what the audience hears.
Okay.
So if we're talking over each other or it gets too muffled or whatnot, we at least know. So when I go to, if someone's just driving in their car and it says, it gets all crazy, it's like, okay, at least we know what they hear.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's the best reason
All right.
because if you take these off, we have no idea how loud we're getting,
Yes, and I am loud.
Well, I mean, we tend to get animated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you get excited. So, your name, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell people who you are, man.
My name is Amos Mack. I am a stand-up comedian. I also do a bit of acting. I'm an author now. I've been doing things for a few years. Yeah.
Yeah, actor, author.
Yeah. I
Single
used
father?
to model, single father. Yeah.
Model, huh?
Doing all that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah. I'm
you
on
modeling
a
for?
couple.
GQ.
No. It was a game that's probably my more popular thing. It was a Southwest. No, not Southwest. Pacific Northwest company that made these board games, and I wound up being the cover on those.
Really?
Yeah.
Board game.
Yeah, board games.
What board game? Can I find this board game?
I don't know if they're in print anymore.
Hold on. But the internet. Everything's on the internet.
Yeah. Okay. One is called Poser.
Poser.
That's the one when it's just me mainly on the cover.
Hold up.
Poser. It's made by I forgot the name of the company, but it was sold at like Barnes and Nobles and Starbucks.
Really?
Yeah.
So, like local board game. Hold up. Poser.
I got it at the house, but
Really?
I'm not
That's
here.
kind of
Yeah.
cool. That's kind of
Yeah, there's only a few copies that I've seen around, and I had like 3 of each board game that I was on.
Of course,
and I gave
right.
them as gifts or like giveaways for fundraisers and stuff. Yeah.
Have you ever been out and about anywhere locally and seen somebody else with that game that you didn't give it to?
No.
Not yet.
But
That blow
I
your
do
mind?
know other people that have seen the game.
Really?
Like other comedians that have seen it and then talked a lot of trash from stage.
because of
Yeah,
the
because of that. Yeah.
Of course, you know how comedians do. They don't.
Yeah, exactly. And one of it was payback because we did a show and it was mostly comedians there, and it was only 2 audience members, which was his mother and father.
Oh, of course. So they went in there and rolled.
Right, and at this time, I did a lot of unnecessary crowd work because I didn't have good material.
Right.
So I'm like, hey, so are you guys having sex? Yeah. And they're
straight to
looking
it.
at each other like, yeah, that's my son who's going to be on stage after you.
So now you know he's gonna roast it.
Oh yeah. So yeah. So he got me then, and then later on at this other show that I didn't expect him to be at, he shows up and then says, yeah, he's on this, and this guy, this poser, and he starts talking about the game. And all
he
that.
went in.
Yeah, he went in. And,
but you
and
know
there's
what?
nothing I could do about it, you know?
But is he on a board game?
No. I don't even know if he's still doing comedy now, actually.
Imagine that. So
Yeah.
the opportunities that you got, he was jealous of, sounds like. Because,
Yeah,
I mean,
a little bit.
how many other people are on a board game or modeling? But they
Not
can
many.
talk about it.
Not many that I know of.
But you can be funny and talk about it, though. Imagine that.
Actually, I don't talk about it. I've never talked
you
about
just
it. really.
did.
Okay. I don't usually talk about it. Sometimes I bring it up, but it's not a regular thing. But since your audience doesn't know me, yeah.
Seattle board games for sale.
Okay, so this is on, I want to say 20 years ago it came out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's see if it pops up. Oh, the internet coming out, huh? Oh, this is some Facebook page. See, this is why I don't be trusting nothing no more.
See, you know, if I get the title of the company, I can't remember the name of the company, but there was another one. They didn't do very well.
Okay.
You know, sales.
But they did something.
They did something. They did something, yes.
If you think about it, 20 years ago, for young black man to get an opportunity to model for a game or any company, you're going to take that opportunity.
Well, it wasn't even about that. It was just like, I take opportunities. And then after the fact, I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Really? Really?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes, yeah.
But that wasn't one of those experiences.
No, it
where
was
they-
definitely was not one of those experiences because this company wanted a multicultural cast to be on these board games. So they had like
Equity
two
and
black
diversity,
people,
huh?
two people that were nondescript, kind of, you know, just light brown. You can't really tell. Asiatic,
but they fit the.
They fit.
They check the
yeah,
block.
They check the boxes. And then two European looking people. So it was like
What the,
so
wait,
they had,
what is a European? European. You said European looking people.
Yes.
So white people?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Yeah, I just didn't want to say that.
I say
I know it's easy to say, but anyway, no, that's a whole nother thing. 'Cause,
you don't want to get canceled before we start.
because I don't want to get canceled, but it just stems back from when, like, you know, people get proud about saying that they're white, but it's like, but where are you from? Where are you
Right.
from? You know, because they like to always ask anybody else where they're from, but they don't know where they're from. Oh, Pennsylvania. Oh,
That's just
you
an
know?
American thing. It's
Yes.
only in America that we
Yes,
do that
yes.
because when I've been around different places and met a lot of people from different countries, and when I meet a French person, whether he's black, white, whatever color, he's just
Yeah.
French.
Yep.
He's just French. Romanian person, just Romanian.
Yep.
Not a black Romanian, black French, or whatever. Only in America do we classify people in certain ways, which now that I'm older as a father, I'm like, why are we doing that? What does it matter?
No, it doesn't. And fortunately, our kids' generation, it doesn't matter to them. And so it's like...
I think it only mattered to us because it was forced on us to matter.
But our generation is changing all that.
True.
And so...
Somewhat. I mean,
Yeah, you can't change something without holding on to the past. You have to know what you're changing it to. And so our generation is making the adjustment. We're the ones getting the therapy, noticing the things that are different. These things aren't working. We don't like this. We are the innovators. We're the changers. We are the movers and shakers. Some people are still trying to hold on to stuff, but it's inevitable change. And our kids are the reflection of our growth.
they're also a reflection of our actions.
Yes. And our actions are part of that. I mean, because when you think about it, how many other generations have as many people as we do being a professional skateboarder, professional snowboarder, professional game player.
Opportunity-wise, we have some of the best opportunities, and that is out of the normal business realm or work realm. Right?
But our generation created them.
Well, did we?
Yeah.
Or did the generation before us work hard enough so we didn't have to in that aspect?
No, our generation.
Well,
our generation.
The way I look at it, right, is...
Oh, wait, how old are you about?
32.
32. Okay, my generation created these opportunities for you youngins to be able to do what you do.
I'm over here thinking, I was like, wait a minute. There's a
I'm
difference here.
51.
Okay,
I'm from the 70s,
okay.
so I watched technology change.
And that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So your generation definitely set the path for instance, for my generation to even do creation stuff like this today, and it be a profession.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's okay. So we're on the same page.
Well,
now that we got the age different.
We're just a slight age, but we're still in that realm.
Right.
I mean,
well, we have
20 years, but
we have the same responsibilities right now. Single fathers, working on our own to do whatever we can, whether it's on the side, podcasting, stand-up comedy. So there's a lot of similarities regardless of being black man, all black man in Lacey, Washington. It's only like 7 of us.
No, there's way more. My son.
Your son too?
Okay, he's a young man. He counts.
Your son too.
Counts.
We gotta add him into.
Yeah, he's gotta add. No, he's one of them. Don't forget.
But it's kind of cool. It's I think it's really cool how we even got to connect in this way, being where we are, and I like that because this community can be different. I've been around different places. This community is different, but in a good way.
Yeah,
it's very progressive.
Yes, and it's changed because I've lived out in this area. In fact, when I first moved to Thurston County, I lived in this area.
Okay, and how long ago was that?
Oh, I would say about somewhere around 2005, 2006.
I moved here in 2015.
Okay,
and I've seen a change.
Yeah, it's been a huge change since then. But around that time, no, I want to say probably 13. I moved over to the west side, Olympia down there. It's way better.
Really?
Well, I think it is because there's less traffic, less people, less thing going on. A little bit more small town feel without being small town.
On the west side.
Yeah, on the west side. It's a little more hippie-ish.
Yeah,
you know,
I've noticed that.
More bohemian. I mean, yeah. I just it's cooler, I think, So, in fact, I live not too far from the community college right now. So there's definitely an influx of change around there, and there's more black people around there too. They just come out of the house, do what they got to do, and then go back to the house. Yeah,
I've noticed that too.
Yeah, I'm one of the few that just like I'm walking my neighborhood. You were going to see me.
Right.
Yeah.
You kind of have to. You really do. If you want people to know. One, that when you're around, you're not a threat.
Right.
And I'm a part of this community too.
I'm sorry, I've been non-threatening since the 70s. I want to be kind of threatening now. Just a little
in today's world, you have to.
Yeah. I want to. Oh, that old. Oh, he doesn't look old, but I know he's old. Leave him alone. He got old man strength. Don't mess with him. You don't know what he do. Yeah. I want to have that kind of thing.
What's up, kids? That's good though. I do like the community though, being that it kind of shows where we can go. There's a lot of hard-working people here.
Yes,
there are some hard-working people here, and there's a lot of
troublemaking kids running around.
I'm trying to change that. I'm really trying my best.
Good luck.
Well, it takes mentorship. It really does.
It really does, and
I think
mentors got to stick with it.
Consistency is key.
Yeah.
Consistency, and of course, you're going to get frustrated at the things that you're not able to do. Especially like yesterday, I was talking with one of the moms that comes in here for the open mic. Just a simple situation going on, and I'm just like, dang, I wish there was something I could do for the youth to get them out of that situation. Or it's like if they just had a mentor, just had somebody that was help pushing them I guarantee they wouldn't be going down that path.
You know, I was literally thinking the same thing. These kids need a mentor, and I hope they get one. I'm going home.
You're not going to do it. You're not going to step up and do it. Come on now. They need you. They need you.
Nah.
They need you. I mean,
no, they don't need me.
They do. Of course they do.
No, I've got one that needs me, and if I can affect him for change, which
that's your ultimate responsibility.
And I can't waste a lot of time. And I say it waste because if I can use that time for him, then that's what I'm going to do.
Absolutely.
And part of being that mentor for my son is doing more and doing better, letting him know, setting him the example.
And not just talking about it.
Not just talking about it, you know. And, yeah, so everything that I learn, I'm trying to instill in him. But it's like a lot. So I have to learn it well enough to be able to distill it in a palatable way.
Right. How old is your son?
He's 16 now.
16. Oh, that's tough. Boy, 16.
Boy, I don't know. He's easy. He's always been easy for me.
You only have one son?
Mm-hmm. Only one child, period. None that I don't know about. None of that.
Yet.
None
After this podcast gets out, you're going to have a bunch of emails.
Yeah,
hey, by the way.
Bring it. And bring your DNA information, your whatever you need.
Remember that one time at the Tacoma Comedy Club we hooked up and
Nah. See, I keep track.
He got a ledger.
My numbers are not that high, but I remember. Yeah, I got a ledger. Okay. 1973. I did 15 this year. Okay, I was in this town. I know this girl. We did it once. I got consent.
You got to make sure you add that.
Yeah, I got consent. And,
make sure you add that. If you don't add that,
dude, no, seriously. There was like when I first started. I started somewhere around 2006, and there were some cats. They were doing some college shows, and one of them was hanging with this chick, you know, for like the whole like day before the show, after the show, breakfast, bang it out, and then her boyfriend found out, and she was like, "Oh no, he did me wrong," and he wound up being in jail for the whole. Oh, what'd I do? Okay, I unplugged something. Okay. Yeah. So he was in the jail for the whole weekend until she admitted, no, it wasn't. It was. I was just a cheating girlfriend.
Living in the moment. I was drunk.
But it was like consent is everything.
Look.
And use protection, fellas. Use protection.
You say that, but you know, a lot of kids nowadays, they're not even thinking about that.
Well, yeah.
Which is crazy. Compared to like when I was a teenager, it's just not. It doesn't come up as often.
It's not as important.
It's not.
And you know, and I think.
What do you think that is?
Well, I know in my son's case, girls are kind of gross and nasty. And they're nothing but trouble, and they give aggravation, and you know.
So he's picked it up at a young age. He already.
Well, okay, so part of this, like when he was conceived, I was married to his mother, and he had a half sister, and then that didn't work out because she wanted to be more of a sexual free spirit as opposed to being a monogamous marriage. So we had to separate ways, and then so at a young age my son saw the difference between the peace at my house and the chaos at their house. Then he saw me dating, right? And it was like, okay, she's crazy, she's disrespectful, why are you doing that, why are you putting up with that? And I was like, because, you know, the stuff was good, you know. No, you know, and finding like condom wrappers and be like, what's this for? Well, you know, this is for protection. Well, if it's so dangerous, why are you doing it?
Ooh.
You know, stuff like that. And then because I had to have like a cell phone for him, you know, so it was all on my Apple account, not
so he can see.
knowing that pictures I was getting, he was getting. And there were some girls that was also sending me some pictures.
Oh.
And he never said anything until one day I'm complaining about his friends sending me pictures. He's like, well, Dad, your friend sent me pictures. I saw butts and this.
Oh,
and so,
no.
So he's like, girls are gross. So there's lots of evidence for that. So he's not.
Right.
I mean, he has some female friends, but he's not in a big rush
Right.
to do anything.
I mean, I'm sure as a father, as a single father, you're like, thank God. 'Cause, you know,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not ready to be a granddaddy right now.
No,
you know?
I'm not. And
God damn shame.
yeah, so the kids they're not really well, not all of them.
No,
My
there
son,
still are, but
yeah, my son isn't in any kind of rush, but I'm also keeping him a kid as long as possible.
That's important.
Yeah, because at 16 I had to have a car and drive and work and help support the family because single mom.
Right.
I had to help pay bills and I'm like, no, you just be a kid.
I thought about this a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
You get about 18 years to be a kid, and if you live a long life, the rest of your life is spent as an adult doing stuff that you don't really like to do.
Mm-hmm.
You get a real short amount of time to be a kid. And just like you said, if I can provide a lifestyle for my kids to where they don't have to work at 13, 14, 15 years old and just be a kid, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, my
'Cause I
mom put
didn't
me
get
to
that.
work at like 11, selling flowers on the corner.
Something, cutting grass.
Yeah. I mean, that would have been nice if I got to keep the money, but I didn't.
Right.
I had to
go
give
to
that money
bills.
to the house, And I was like,
It
I don't
made
want my
you
kid to
grow
go
up
through that.
fast, too.
Yeah, yeah. And, when you look at some people that grow up in other countries, like I met this girl, her family actually, from Ecuador.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about kids growing up too fast, and she was talking about how, you got 16-year-old girls not wearing makeup, still playing with dolls, because they don't have to grow up. Yeah, they have to help support their family by doing things, but they don't have to grow up and be fast and be married and do all that. I mean, there are some people that are a little bit faster, but not everybody.
We're in
Some
such a
people
rush to be an adult, to want to be a grown-up as a young person, until we get there. Until it really hits you, then you're like, dang.
Then you find out how great it is, and you want to stay an adult. I love being an adult. I love being grown.
It has its advantages.
Yeah.
But if I was living the lifestyle that my kids are living now, I think I would much rather be as a kid.
Yeah, me too. If I got to grow up like with a dad like me,
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'd be a kid, but I have learned this as a father. Gives me a chance to be a kid again.
Oh, well, I've always been immature.
Right, but now you have an excuse because you're growing up with your kid.
Well, actually,
not even that it's an excuse, but I guess it just feels more authentic, I guess. I don't know.
It gives a little justification for people that stare at you wrong. Because I've been collecting comic books, action figures for decades.
Right.
And so when my son actually acknowledged the stuff that I had, he thought it was already his. I'm like,
really?
No.
Whoa.
See, that's in the package? No, don't open that package. That's, that kind of thing.
He's just going to immediately inherit that from you.
Well, yeah. I mean, like when the MCU first came out, I would buy the Hulk smash hands and this, so all of a sudden he's like, oh, this is mine. No, that's mine. You can't play with it because it's out of the package.
As a kid, that they don't understand it because they just see it as a toy or
in
the moment.
It's in this
whatnot,
house. I live here, so it's mine too.
Yeah, I mean,
and he's not
wrong, right?
No, he's not wrong. Yeah, yeah.
They know it though.
Yeah,
they know that, and that's why I think that's why.
But how I grew up, no, this is yours.
That's because we got whooped.
You got whooped and beat, and this is a no zone. This is a no zone. You be quiet. You stay out of this room. Yeah.
I remember rooms at my grandma's house I wasn't even allowed to walk in.
Yeah.
Unless I was there cleaning something that she directed me to do.
Right, and then get back out.
And then get back out.
Yeah.
Don't touch nothing. Don't. Don't look at nothing.
Yeah.
That was real.
Yeah.
That was
Mine
a
too.
real
Mine
thing.
too.
And I look at that as just discipline, right? That's just my family's discipline. It didn't necessarily mean that it was normal, but in my family, that was normal.
Well, unfortunately, it was normal in my family.
I mean, I think it was normal in a lot of minorities' families.
Yeah.
I never got go to the corner, go to your room. That wasn't an option.
Oh, no, I got that.
That was never an option for me.
Yeah, but I shared my room with my siblings.
I did too.
Yeah, so it was like, go to your room. And I didn't have anything in there, so it was a good punishment.
Nah, for us, we shared a room. We had our toys in there, but the idea of go to your room didn't solve the whatever we did.
Oh, yeah, so you got to get beat and do this, and then go to your room. I don't want to see you.
It was get out of my face.
I want to beat you again.
It was more get out of my face, like go out of the house. Just go out of the house, come back at dinner time, kind of thing for us. But we would get whooped.
So we're still in that
and then go out of the house, but
yeah.
never like go to your room. My mom just didn't want us in the house. It was always when she got off work, because she would go to work at like 4:30 in the morning, get off at like 1 or 2, and then by the time she got home, she was tired. So we're getting off of school, rowdy. He wanted to go play. She's
get out
the house. I'm trying to take my nap. I'm gonna cook dinner, go back to work. Get out the house. Don't be hanging around my tree. Don't be hanging in my front yard. If you're good, I'm serious. You laugh. You laugh.
No, I'm laughing because my cousin was like that, being at his house. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, but
don't be on the tree. Don't be on this block. You go down there. Take your shenanigans down the street.
My mama used to always say, "Why is everybody always got to play in my yard? Why can't y'all go play in somebody else?"
Yeah, because their parents are saying the same thing. And it always made no sense because you wonder why everybody's hanging on the block on the corner because nobody was allowed to go home. That's why. That's why.
We had no place to go.
Why don't you go home? Because our parents don't want us home.
They don't want us home.
You don't want us on the block. They don't want us at home.
Where are we supposed to go?
Exactly.
We couldn't go to the park because it was too far.
The club that beats the streets.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Wait, let me do my Denzel. You got to go down. No, I had Denzel. Because he used to be the spokesperson for the boys club. This is before it became the boys and girls club. It was just the boys club.
Kind of like the
YMCA. They had the boys club and they had the girls club. YMCA and the YWMCA, whatever. Yeah. It was YWCA. YWCA and then the YMCA. Yeah. Because he had to keep them separate because they might copulate if they're in the same place. Those kids in the 70s.
Those 70s kids.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. So
okay.
You've seen a little bit of different change in our country, right? From being born in the 70s till 2023. It seems like a completely different world. Would you, or do you see now, it seems like there's a particularly portion of people that want more segregation? Are you starting to see that now?
Okay, so when I was a kid, I was living in Philadelphia. And this is before the gentrification. So there was literal, don't go past this street.
Right.
And one of the reasons my family left Philadelphia, because they were killing kids. Black kid going this, kill. White kid coming there, kill.
For crossing the street?
From crossing the railroad tracks, the literal railroad tracks. And my dad wound up getting a job at a radio station, and I think they were supposed to be separating, but they wound up, I don't want this to happen to my kids because we were taking ourselves to school,
right?
And then maybe having a neighbor watch us after, at 2 and 3 years old, going to kindergarten and preschool by ourselves, and anyway, so that was the story that I was told.
Don't go cross this track because
don't cross the track. You don't talk back to the white people over here. You don't go over here. So we lived in an area not too far from the projects, which was the worst area,
right,
from where we were at. And then and this is in South Philly. And if you go, South Philly was just war zone, and it was different in different parts of the city. So when we moved to California, then it was like only black family in the city until we found the other black family.
Really?
All the way on the
What
other
part of
side.
California?
Fullerton.
I have no idea where that is. Fullerton?
Yeah.
Fullerton.
You ever heard of Cal State Fullerton? It's one of the basketball teams. And
I don't follow any college.
That's okay. Me neither. I just know about it because we used to play basketball there. It's one of the free activities we could do, play basketball. But anyway.
Imagine that.
Yeah. So there is
Shut up and dribble LeBron.
So I'm not going to get into that because I don't care.
the free activity.
It's one of the free activities, basketball.
You didn't realize it. Free activity we can do.
One of the free activity we can do. But that sounds so bad. It is. I mean, call it like it is. I mean, wait, the other one was stick ball, because you could find half a ball in a stick.
That's true. Kick the can.
Yeah.
Kick the can.
All them old activities, free activities.
Free outside activities away from the house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about the segregation, there's completely different than it was than it is now.
Right.
This is easy.
It's almost
easy.
like it's like, I hate to say it, but like petty segregation.
They can try, but we are so aware of the laws and the redlining and everything else that's going on. If people are allowing themselves to be segregated, then they are. But there are too many people that have other races in their family. So it puts extra effort on their part to be racist.
Right.
Extra. I mean, because that's whenever you see that one racist person, I didn't want my kid dating that black person, that Mexican, that Asian, then when they see the grandbabies looking all cute and everything, it's my grandbaby. You know what? Maybe they aren't so bad.
Yeah.
Then they stand up.
Well, it's been like that since at least slavery, since we first got here.
Well, I mean, I can't speak about that, but because black was black up until then. It didn't matter how much black was in you, you were black. Up until 80s, But
then we started checking the block of which kind of black I am.
Yeah, around that time,
you know what I mean?
And affirmative action, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that was. But some people that were really light could pass for white and all that, and that's a whole nother thing because my mom, very light skinned black, and she used to hate because she would be treated poorly in the East Coast, then go to California and then be hit on by Mexican dudes.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Right, because
so it was totally different, because
right.
they think she's one of them. We haven't seen this, even though there was plenty of black people out there,
right.
But it was still different because it was like this is this area, and these people come here. This is their culture. This is their block, and that was what it was. But nowadays, everything is too spread out. So when people talk about the good old days, that's what they're trying to get to. You can't get back to it.
You can't.
You really can't get back to it.
Because if we go back to it, it's going to be separating everybody back in their own little, whatever you want to call it, echo chambers.
Well,
and then you create issues because now, if you're not in this group with us, now you're be somehow the enemy or something like that.
Well, you know what?
I just don't understand it.
That's fine if that is actually a thing, then sure. But those communities are going to thrive.
Are they?
Yes.
For how long? Is it sustainable?
Yes.
To try to force everybody?
Well, okay. When you look back at segregation and like the early 1900s, all these black towns that were eradicated. And it was because they were doing well. They were supporting each other. They had their own money, kept it in the community, worked well. And then they destroyed the town, and then people would have to integrate, and then you could control their growth a lot better. And that was
implementation of the ghettos and people
buying
up all of the real estate in the area.
But that was because people didn't know what was going on, because a lot of that migration from the South to the corporate towns that had, you know, a GM or this industry and everything, and those the housing was created, and it used to be good housing, you know, and for those people. But when too many minorities were getting in, they were like, oh, we're going to go do something else, let them have it. And then when that happens, all of a sudden this town dies because it was built on that company, like Flint, Michigan, for example, or
those companies,
Chicago.
Those towns died not because of the minorities coming in.
No, they died because of the industry.
Yeah, the industry up and left and took it to Mexico and other places.
But
for cheaper labor.
Yes, but before that happened, people were already starting to try to leave, and somebody had to fill those jobs.
Really?
And then when those jobs were filled by the minorities and they were starting to thrive, then it was like, you know what, let's move this out. That's just a side portion, and this is just from what I learned from a lot of other things. I mean, this is after the fact. But you look at any cultural community where everybody is in that culture, they support each other, they hang out with each other, they thrive. You look Jewish community, Asian community, Korean, Chinatown, they all thrive when they are segregated. But to be able to destroy the black man easier moved them over to integration.
I think
that's just my supposition, and it's just not an easy subject to talk about. It's just not easy.
It's an uncomfortable conversation, but I believe it's a necessary one.
Yeah, it is necessary, but what's the best way to say it?
I think the reason I bring it up is because I see a lot of history repeating itself right now, and it kind of scares me, especially as a father of 2 young girls. And the last thing I want my daughter to think is that it's okay for people to be segregated right now just because they don't fit a certain type of agenda or something. You know what I mean? And they're kind of pushing that from what I can see. My oldest is 12, and she sometimes has that mindset of us, well, if you don't think this certain way, then you're the problem, and you shouldn't be allowed to do this or that or say this kind of thing. And I'm like, well, where are you getting that thought process from? You know, and this is what they're teaching them in school.
Oh, yeah, that's just the polarizing of the school system, because there's a lot of pushback from that.
But it scares me because right now, if you don't agree with the equity inclusion agenda, you're an enemy.
Well, you know, I mean, it's
okay.
The reason why it doesn't scare me is because there's always been that kind of thing, and it depends on who's in power. But one of the things my mom taught me by action more than by words is you don't have to speak out on everything.
Very true.
You are going to be you, but you don't have to speak out on everything. But there will be a time to fight, and you be ready to fight when it's time.
It's very true. That's a very, very important thing.
I mean, because with the inclusion
but you have
thing,
to be ready to fight.
You have to be ready to fight, but you also have to be aware of what's going on. See, I personally don't care what somebody's agenda really is, but I do care about their actions and how it's going to affect me. And I will speak up.
Right.
And it gets me in trouble a lot. I work in construction, and there's a lot of people with interesting points of view. And they don't like, okay, I'll even wrap this back around comedy a little bit, because people will try to come to me after a show and be like, man, you can't talk about anything anymore. What do you want to talk about?
Right.
I mean, what is it that you want to talk about?
Right.
If you're trying to talk about things that are offensive, that's your prerogative. But you just don't want the consequences of your action.
Right. So they're pre-censoring themselves. So, oh, yeah, you can't talk about anything anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, you can, but just understand that it could piss off some people. And there comes with could come with consequences.
Right.
But you still could do it.
You can always say what you want.
Right.
It doesn't stop anything.
Yeah.
Just understand.
Some
there's
people
going to be
might not like
consequences.
it.
Yeah, there's going to be consequences for your action. You might get a punch in the face, lose a job, a bullet in the back. There could be any number of things that could happen to you.
What could happen.
You never know that can. So why not just be a kind person? Mm-hmm. But that's just a group of people that
I think
are trying to push their opinion, and
I think right now we're starting to see more people realizing what's going on, and it's not that I've ever even had a problem with people being themselves. Be you, do what you want to do. Mm-hmm. And a real good question Dave Chappelle even asked was, to what degree do I have to participate in your own self-image?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but see, for me, I don't even... Okay, so if you're talking more about if somebody's trying to be trans or whatever their orientation is, I don't care. Mm-hmm. I don't want to have sex with you.
Right.
I don't care.
It doesn't bother me.
Yeah,
it's just,
right.
I'm not interested.
I have friends and some acquaintances, but it doesn't describe their character.
Exactly. Your actions in real life is what I'm looking at.
But I'll step that a little bit further. Even if they are a certain political party and they hate this group or hate that group, you think how you think. Mm-hmm. It's not my job to change your mind.
Exactly.
But don't bring it to me.
Yeah.
You keep it over there.
Keep it over there.
And it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's orientation, whether it's hate. But if it's happiness, love, laughter, I'll bring it.
If more people thought that way, you would think more people would be a lot more happier and stuff, because there's a lot more good out there in this world than there is
There's way
bad.
more good, and there's more people keeping it going. Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah.
You just have to go look.
But the loud people are the problem.
You make a good point when you say that, because I think the vast majority of people agree, but they're just not as loud.
Right.
And there's a very, very loud group of individuals, but it's such a small percentage of how people in the vast population feel about that.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to assume you're the same way, and you have so much going on with your life. You don't have time to worry about if that person's going into that bathroom, or if that person's got a specific kind of flag on the back of his truck doing this.
Good for them.
Yeah, do
it's not hurting me.
Now, when you start yelling at me, we've got a problem now. Okay.
You start telling me that my kids are doing, or my kids should have to do this because. Hold on now. Mind your own business. Yeah. You do you, and I'll worry about my kids. But don't tell me I'm wrong.
Or religious fanatics.
Anything.
It doesn't matter.
The thing with people that I think more people need to realize is just because you think a certain way, believe a certain type of way, does not mean it is your sole duty to force others to believe the same way you do.
Right. And even if you agree with one portion of what a loud person is saying, doesn't mean you agree with everything that they do.
Yeah.
It's okay to compartmentalize things.
We've lost that. I think as an American,
I don't think we've lost it. I think people are in a state of change. People are in. It's a big state of change right now, because people. I mean, especially like with the Black Lives Matter, that was such a big thing, and people really had to question what their belief system was, and what the systems were actually doing. And so many people had their eyes woken to what is going on and what it is. And then now it's like, what do I do now that I know this?
Right.
What do I do? And then you have a generation like my kid, he cracks up because like when I play a video game, I'm usually, it's a brown skin character or a female character.
Right.
And he's like, why is that? Well, and then I tell him a story. He's like, oh, okay, that makes a little sense, And then
there's a method to your madness.
Yeah, there's a method to it.
There's always a method.
Yeah, because what was? I forget the.
She don't forget
representation. Representation matters. Was that?
She forgot my drink.
Probably. Or she was like, saw your sign, do not disturb. recording in prior, she's like, I didn't want to be causing no problems.
Can I get 2 waters in that drink?
See, she was like, I saw your sign. I didn't want to disturb you.
I doubt that was what you said. No.
And that's the other reason why I like.
You're saying, like, as far as the video games, you said, would you say inclusion? You're trying to
just
diversity.
Well, only because you play video games back in the day. It's like, how many brown characters did you see? That's the one I'm choosing.
Crash Bandicoot.
Right? You know, you get Jax on Mortal Kombat. That's the only mother. Man. Dang. You know, so I would choose it. And if it wasn't a black dude, I'd choose a chick. You know?
Why not, right?
Yeah. And then my kid why? Well, because representation matters.
Representation matters.
And he was like, oh, you would like, I'm playing this video game, Dad. You would like it. The main character's black. Ooh, what is that? Okay, tell me more, son.
Tell me. Have you played that new Spider-Man?
No, I haven't played
Miles Morales?
Oh, no, I've been a fan of Miles Morales since...
I saw the trailer of the game about a year ago, right? And I'm still raving on just the trailer. But I got the game
I just don't want to
before.
buy the new system. I'm not...
Trust me. But you know what they've done is most of those games you can just download off the PlayStation Network in PS4 anyways.
Oh, cool.
Because I don't have a PS.
The newest PS I have is a PS3.
Well, damn, man. You
Exactly.
Well,
exactly. I stopped.
Well,
I gave up
video
on some
games. You said the new Harry Potter games. I figured.
Yeah, it's on my phone.
Oh, I didn't know.
I don't have to spend. I got a free game on my already expensive phone.
Fair enough. I mean, you pay $1,000 for these phones, and they can do everything.
They can do everything, and mine does everything. So that's why I play them.
I mean, look.
So buy a game system? No, I'm not buying. Spending $500 for.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But you're also 51. And like you were talking about earlier, you got other things and priorities.
I've got priorities.
Yeah.
Time I could be spending on a game. I could be exercising. I could be writing a joke. I could be writing a new book. I could be working on a screenplay. There's lots that I could be doing. And sitting down, dedicating that much time to a game that only has so much life.
But when we first started, you said, I dedicated so much time to this Harry Potter game. So it'll do it too. It'll do it too.
Okay, so I woke up at 3:30 this morning, which is a half hour normally than I do it on the week.
For work, right?
For work. And I played the game for 2.5 hours.
Just
laying in bed. My plan was at 5 o'clock to go walking. I didn't get out of the house until 7.
I was playing that game.
Because I was playing that game. So I didn't finish my laundry. Like I said, I've got to drive down to Portland for a show, and then I didn't actually see the email correctly because I was like, I didn't want to do the podcast on the 1st or the 16th. And then the message I got was, can you do it on the 1st at noon? I was like, I didn't read that right. Yeah.
You could have told us.
Huh?
You could have told us.
No, I don't want to miss an opportunity. All I got to do is shuffle things a little bit. And if it wasn't for the game this morning, I would have had way more done. And I could have been like, all right, I'm heading to Portland right after this.
Either way, it's still going to get done.
It's going to get done.
It's going to get done. So you're working construction, a day job, and then you're doing comedy.
When I can.
When you can.
When I can.
Okay. How long have you say you've been doing stand-up for?
18 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And do you really love it?
I love it so much.
It's because I feel like
I love my son more, so I'd rather be a dad. See, my biological father, he's the only father I had, actually. But I didn't have like a stepfather my biological father. But he blues musician. So he was doing that, DJing, living that life instead of being a dad. I have the skill.
To do both.
Yeah, but it's more important to be present than it is for me to do it, because the stage is always going to be there.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I have more life to talk about. That's all it means. So
that's a really good way of looking at that.
Oh, thank you. Because I've seen some people make that sacrifice, and it paid off. They gave up their family, their kid. They went to L.A. for their career. They did it, made the big money, and was able to come back and get their kid. And I was impressed, but I wouldn't do that.
But how long did it take for them to get that success?
Well, that particular guy, 5 years.
Exactly. Yeah. For normal people, it doesn't happen like that.
No, it's a rarity. It's a rarity because
especially
not many
in comedy.
people make it, especially in comedy.
Because everybody thinks they're funny. Everybody thinks they're funny. And there's only so many spots, so many places.
Right, so people have to create new spots, new ways,
new jokes,
new things. Yeah.
Stay current, stay relevant.
Okay, I have a little bit issue with that, only because staying current and staying relevant, two different things. You don't have to be relevant. You have to be able to connect with your audience, but you don't have to be relevant.
It's harder. I think it's harder for people to connect with you if you're not relevant to them. If you don't relate to them in some way.
See, I see what you're saying. When I think relevant, I'm thinking like hip, new, flashy. What's in right now? Makes sense. But relevant means
or just important.
Because I have one of my mentors. Susan Rice. She is in her 70s. Been doing comedy 40 years.
Shout out to Susan.
She doesn't not kill at a show regardless of the age group.
Right.
She kills. 70-year-old woman. She's adorable. And
because she's good.
She is a monster of comedy. You look at her and it's just like, why aren't you famous? She's good. She's very good.
But she just she's
lived off of comedy. Lives off of comedy. House off of comedy. You know what I mean? Yeah, she hits the road all the time. And she would tell me stories about how hard it was in the 80s being a woman as a headliner going in towns. Where
there wasn't any other than Roseanne, right?
Well, there's a bunch of them besides Roseanne. But how many made it? You know, I mean, just like with black men, there's only room for one at a time or whatever.
Right.
And but there's a bunch of them out there.
Where did that come from? Where did that come from?
Hollywood.
That mindset of there's only room for so many. You know what I mean?
Because honestly, I don't know. Not until.
Do you think it's like that today?
No. It's not like that anymore.
Because there's so many independent creators and stuff nowadays, right? So I don't think it's necessarily that mindset. Or is that a comedian mindset?
No. I mean, you look at Hollywood. How many black leading actors did you see at any particular time? Asian
Not until recently.
Not until we
had ones and two movies like The Best Man and ones and twos, Poetic Justice in the 90s.
Right. But that was like John Singleton.
Spike Lee had a couple movies, Lean on Me, but it was
very few. But he was the director. He was the producer, writer, and it still had some of it. Yeah. But I mean, back then you had like Sidney Poitier. You had. But there's only one main one that you've seen all the time. At a time. They were all around because like with Sidney Poitier and like Bill Cosby were doing their thing. Yeah. Right. But Bill Cosby's comedy and Sidney Poitier's drama. Then you had Denzel when Sidney Poitier was, there's different characters. Same with Asian and Hispanic, same thing. And I don't know why. But that's another historical look at this. But I would say not until about Eddie Murphy did that start to change.
Eddie Murphy was on fire.
He was on fire, but he put a lot of people on the map. He changed a lot of things, and because of him, around that same time, you got Chris Rock doing stuff. You got this guy,
Eddie Griffin.
Everybody's doing
Martin
stuff.
Lawrence.
Yeah. It was from that time on. It changed.
I think comedy is one of the best things that we can have for a culture. Because
yeah.
if you can't laugh
understand.
at some of the hard stuff that we go through at a time and just joke about things every once in a while, and take, because you can take life too seriously.
Right.
We can take life way too seriously.
Everybody
sometimes.
has a sense of humor, and it's the only, in my opinion, real, powerful, true emotion. Because even if you are offended by a joke, if it's funny, you're still going to laugh. But later on, you'll be like, "Oh, I shouldn't have laughed at that."
You know what? That's a really good thing, too.
But that, it's also one of those things that transcends a lot of racism, nationalism, political, ageism. It really does. I mean, it can divide also,
if you let it.
But it unites people easier and faster than most anything else. Mm-hmm. It's stronger than love. Because if you make somebody laugh, they'll be down for you.
Absolutely,
they'll be down for you.
Absolutely,
because I've been to some towns where people talking trash, but I made them laugh and change it.
Yeah, and that could change a person's complete perspective of you from them liking you as like an enemy too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know what I mean? And you know what? That's a funny guy. He's all right.
Yeah, he's cool.
Don't mess with him. He's all right.
Yeah.
He's good people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's something you can translate without knowing the language, just by body movement, anything. I mean, any good speaker has to have comedy in it for you to get it.
Get them to connect with you a little bit.
Yeah.
Get them to feel comfortable. Because if you can feel comfortable laughing around somebody, then you're going to feel comfortable about many other things too. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like we would say, laughter is this energy that you can't escape.
Yeah, you can't escape.
And it's going to come out when something's funny.
You can't control it.
Once it registers, it clicks. You can't control it.
Yeah.
And I mean, you see it in the military. We have the most disciplined individuals in the military. You're standing there at attention, but somebody says something funny, and if it's funny, you're trying so hard to maintain your military composure, but you're saying, it's kind of funny, something stupid as raise your dick meters, motherfucker. Like, did you just say dick meters? This motherfucker said different. Like, you know what I mean? And it just we're supposed to be serious, man. We about to go to war, but this motherfucker talking about dick meters.
Yeah. But it gives you something to live for.
You know what I mean?
I'm alive right now.
It's true.
And I love it. I love comedy. When I get to a point where I can do it full time, I'm going to.
I think that's the dream, right? When you finally find that side hustle, but turn it into your full-time hustle. Isn't that a dream?
Yeah, for me, it definitely is, because comedy has afforded me most everything that I've wanted so far.
Right.
I mean, not in the fullest way, but I could taste what it can bring me, and I could also see the unhappiness it could bring me if I let some of the other things distract me from my goal.
Having goals is important. I mean, having goals and staying true to those goals is important. So many people give up for fear of failure, fear of humiliation.
Fear of success. That's a real thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Do you think people fear success or the stress that comes with success?
Both.
Really?
Yeah. I think I've had that issue.
Really?
It's hard for me to articulate it, but one of the biggest things about, for me, fear of success is once you start doing well, people want you to keep being better or be better all the time.
Right.
And I've had that where growing up, I didn't realize, like, about me, I am a natural leader. I don't want to be. But people always want to follow me and then use me as the standard to beat, and
you can't escape that.
You
can try,
but I don't like to acknowledge it. I don't want to be that barometer.
Right.
That's not my goal. I have my own path, but people will look at me like, okay, well, I can do better than, and then tell other people that that's their goal, to beat me at some.
If you have a personal goal to beat somebody, that's
but anyway, just growing up in different settings, and it was just like I don't like that. I don't want to be so successful that people always are looking at me that way.
Right.
But then I realize
where that could bring you and what it
yeah,
could
what could bring me but I'm just going to do what I do or what I want to do and grow at my pace because I know some of my capability, but I don't know how far it'll take me.
Right.
And I do know that it takes work. And
it does.
I don't like having to do work. I like it when it's easy.
Right.
But it's not as satisfying.
It's not. If everything was given to you pretty easy and simple, you wouldn't appreciate it.
And I've developed so many bad habits with comedy because, family comes first, so I'll do it whenever. So I have a lot of habits of not writing, just doing what I feel like, what's moving me, what's funny to me, whether it's controversial or too dirty. I don't care. There's kids in the audience. I'm still going to be talking about, having sex with this woman until she shits.
Right.
It's just funny to me.
Right. And that's what comedy's for.
Yeah.
I think especially when you go to a comedy show, you are volunteering yourself to go to that depth, to go and expand your brain in a funny way. Right. You know what you might get into. You know what I mean? You know that going in. It's literally a comedy show. It is designed to make people laugh.
But at the same
if you
time,
want to go there or not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can go there, but okay. And this is one thing that I've just come to a realization of what I want. One of my goals is I would rather reach more people than less people, and only people that agree with what I'm saying.
Why is that?
Because I want more people to hear me and to laugh at something. Because I've just been, like the show we did here, there were kids here, so people were like, oh, I can't say this. Oh, I can't say this. Why can't you write your joke so you can say it to anybody and still get the
same
across?
Message, right?
And that's the thing. It's not that I'm trying to censor myself or really care about everybody's feelings, but I want everybody to be able to receive it the way I want them to receive it, and I want more people to receive it as possible and not to have their personal biases get in the way of what I want to say.
Let me ask you this. Is that you?
Yes.
Okay. Because if it's you and it feels natural to do it that way, then it's never going to be a problem.
It's funny. Around the same time that I finally made the decision, because I was told for years if I cleaned up my act, I could go farther. I don't care. I'll do this for me.
Exactly.
But I can still do it for me, and if I clean it up, then I can get more people.
So there's ways that you might be able to tweak a certain joke to make it still reach the entire audience.
Right.
Without offending the kids or the parents, but still get the same premise that the parents are going to understand.
Or offending the people that are acknowledging that there are people there and saying, I hope he doesn't offend these kids.
Right.
I want to take them out of that. I don't want you to worry about the fact that I'm going to talk about sex this way or say this word, curse word. So if I can let you be comfortable with how I'm saying it, then you're going to receive this funny.
Right.
And that's the thing. And
that's hard.
It's a lot of twisting to get to that. And a lot of people won't agree with it, but I don't care I want more. Because I did me and my son, he was turning 15, I was turning 50, same year. We're 35 years apart. And so I was doing a 1550 birthday party. Family-friendly comedy. It was so great to see a whole family sit there
and enjoy
the jokes. And I was like, that's what I want. I want a whole family, just like it was like a TGI Friday, off of ABC.
Right.
The whole family being able to
get
enjoy
that
stand-up.
Right.
Because stand-up is different than TV or movies. It's live, the energy is there, and everybody's together.
You're in the moment. You're in the moment with your audience, as opposed to writing a joke and just performing it and recording it to the world. Like, it's different when you're vibing with your audience. And you can really feel if they're feeling your jokes or not.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
exactly.
can feel it. Like, this isn't going to work out the way I wanted it to.
Right.
Maybe if I,
and sometimes you get something in that situation that you can't recreate. But the trick is to try to be able to recreate that with another group.
Right.
And one of the things that I thought was fascinating, around the same time as I came to this realization, I saw an interview of Method Man who said, when I decided to start rapping clean, it changed my style and improved the quality of my rhymes.
Because it made him think more than just using those 3 or 4 trigger words that we use over and over.
Right. And I was
by doing so, you're able to expand and grab a bigger audience who's connecting with you.
Bigger audience, and you elevate your form. And I used to think that, okay, clean comedy, but I was like, no, that's what I want. I want it hard. I want to make it. I want to be able to tell this joke somewhere else without having to water it down.
And that's what puts you ahead of the game, is when you put in that effort.
Yeah,
because
but it's hard.
It is. Yeah. I'm about to say, but the audience can see it, though, because they're listening, they're captivated, they're in tune with the story. You know what I mean? They're listening to all of the story, and then you hit them with the joke or the punchline or whatever it is.
And then when you're doing it in an authentic way, even though you've done it 100 times, it sounds like you've done it for the first time.
Right.
And that's the feeling people want to have at a comedy show. So if I could do that and not offensive and you take in everything.
Is there a lot of family-friendly comedy scenes around here?
No.
No,
there's not.
Only like open mics.
I'm going to build it. I'm going to build it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, let's push it here. Let's bring people here and start doing our own comedy shows here.
Well, since Joke Masters is already doing shows here, I don't want to step on their toes with my brand.
True. True.
So,
competition for a reason.
Well, but I will say this: you've already been running the open mic on Fridays. My plan is to come more regularly and then take part of it and use that as my platform.
Absolutely.
I'm going to use it as much as I can.
That's what it's for.
Yeah.
Because I'm not like, Joke Master, she puts on specific, comedy shows and whatnot. I'd rather people come and work out their stuff, get connected, because I know repetition is what sets people apart.
Right. But here's my sneaky part. If I get these kids to be like, okay, he's funny, I've got a whole new audience that's talking about me.
Exactly.
Whole new audience.
Why do you think I work with the kids?
Yeah. No, I get it.
It makes sense. And who's going to influence the other kids better than other kids?
Right.
It ain't going to be us old heads. That's right. They're going to listen to one ear and out the other. They're going to listen a little bit
by what we do,
but they're going to watch what we do.
We watch what we do, and then if we get it that way, and then it's like we are setting up a smaller generation, and it will ripple out. It will ripple out.
It always happens.
Always.
Kids are
but then if you get a bunch of kids thinking, okay, now I can be clean, and not thinking it's clean, but I can do this, and then they do it, and then they're all of a sudden doing these shows, and they're at that level, and it's just like I set a new generation of comics.
That opportunity would have never happened had they not started off at a small spot, right?
Right.
Because everyone has to start off at a small venue somewhere, right?
Yeah. Well,
Well, most people.
Yeah, most people.
Get your stage time. Get comfortable. These younger kids need that. Public speaking is a huge fear for a lot of people. A lot of people. And if I can, what I'm trying to show these guys is come up here, be goofy, perform, get loose, because they're just all regular people too, sitting in the audience. And once you start to realize that and get comfortable, talking to them is just talking.
Yeah, because talking to one person or 1,000, it's no real difference.
No different.
But the smaller crowds are better because you can really connect.
Yeah.
1,000 people,
it's hard.
Everything is going on, and you've got to be over and above just to get their attention.
I just spoke at a conference this past week in Spokane, and there was a lot of people in this big ballroom. I'm out there speaking. And they had me up at first, like on the stage, and I'm like, I'm not gonna sit there and talk down to a bunch of people.
You grab the mic and just start walking through the crowd.
I'm right there on the floor, walking back and forth, because I need them to connect with me. I can't just sit up here on a podium and preach to you guys and expect you to connect with me. I got to get loose. I got to get comfortable. So first thing I did, thank you, I went right down to the thing. Hey, ladies, I put the pin mic. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is who I am. And this is what we're going to talk about. You know, and I just went right into it. You got to make them feel it. And I wouldn't have ever been able to do that if I wasn't forced to publicly speak and teach classes and instruct in things like that prior to. You know, everything builds up and leads you to whatever your purpose is. You know, I don't know what my purpose is supposed to be. Maybe you know what yours is, or maybe you're still figuring it out.
I'm definitely still figuring it out.
That's the best part of the journey.
Comedy, I love it so much.
And when you do it, it doesn't feel like work. When you're
No, it
actually
still feels like work.
When you're no, think about when you're actually in the moment, just performing. Does it feel like you're working, or do you just feel good?
Well, that's kind of a mixed bag because I know it's work, and even though I love it, it's like, okay, how am I engaging with this person? Oh, why is this person not laughing? Oh, I'm not getting the reaction I thought with this. Maybe I need to do this. Oh, I need to do this, and you know, and so I'm working it like that, trying to be as natural as possible. But it's still work. But after I got that glow, and then when I get people, oh, that was so great, you know, you get that victory lap afterwards. Then it's like, if I get most of the crowd high four, yeah. And then it's like, all right, that's it. I did good. You know, or I'm selling some books. Yeah, I did good.
Doesn't that? And it makes it feel like it's all worth it. Whatever you've done to lead up to that point feels like it's worth it, right?
Yeah, you know, it definitely does. It definitely does. It's that okay? These words that I put together this way, okay, that worked better than I thought it was this way. Oh, that was new. Let me look at the tape. Okay, yeah, I did this. I need to do this. You know,
you record your sets?
Yes. I don't always review them, but I always record them.
It's good to have an archive.
Yeah, I'm trying to build it. I'm trying to build the archive to be able to look back. Okay, this is what worked. These are the words. This is the combination.
Right. Like I said, we got these tools nowadays where you can document everything.
Yeah, but it's like it's hard to be more intentional. Where you're like, okay, I did this after the show. Sit down, watch the tape. Okay, this is what I did. This is what I did. I forgot this one. I need to add this one. This would have been better here. You know, and
do you
then
have a
figuring
process like to your writing style or anything?
I'm still evolving.
Yeah,
I'm still evolving. Yeah,
which you've written a book.
Yeah. Actually, I wrote 2 books.
You wrote 2 books, huh?
Yeah, this is the latest one that I like.
Second edition?
Second edition. Why Daddy Can't Count to 10. Did you actually look at this?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you actually haven't seen it?
No.
You just saw me show the cup. Okay, so it's Why Daddy Can't Count to 10. It's about me losing my pinky. I lost my pinky. Wait, I lost my pinky. That's where the high four comes from.
I'm not laughing at your lost pinky, by the way.
That's okay. Laugh at it. It's funny. It really is to me, anyway.
This is awesome.
And so I got my son and me. My son did the illustrations. I wrote it. The first edition I did at the end of COVID, and it was a kind of a rush. But I wanted it out there. I just wanted to do something, and it was all right, but I wanted it better. So I redid it. And so that's why I actually have 2. I got a couple other book ideas and a couple of drafts done of these different stories. So I'm just kind of dabbling in that right now. I'm going to work better to it, but I'm going to have another book hopefully by the end of this year. Yeah.
And your son illustrated it for you?
Yes.
Got it published and all that?
I got it published on Amazon, so you can get it on Amazon, $7. There's a digital copy as well.
We'll make sure we put a link in the description for you guys as well.
Wait, I'm pretty stoked about this. I also got a QR code where I've got it on YouTube where I'm reading the book and just the story. So if you just want to do it that way. Also, I do jokes on TikTok. You know, so. I got a lot of stuff that you can access just by getting this book. Well, and if you buy the book in person, I give out stickers also.
Well, I want to know a little bit more about this book
Okay.
before we wrap up and everything.
Okay.
Because you've had an interesting life.
Yeah,
And-
sure.
I mean, well, you talked about moving from Pennsylvania, moving to
I lived a half a
California,
century.
you know, and there's a lot that's been going on.
Yeah.
Doing construction,
Yeah.
writing a book, being
Yeah.
in a movie.
Yeah.
You didn't even mention
Unfallen.
that.
Unfallen. It's on
Unfallen.
Amazon Prime. Yeah, I got this part because a friend of mine was already cast in the movie. He's playing some drug dealer, and so I got laid off of the day job. My son had like a sleepover, and so I was like, "Hey, let me come to the set. I haven't been on the set in a while." All right, cool. So I go out there, get out there, and he's like, they looked at me and were like, "Oh, he could play this role
Really?
just by my look." Yeah. And I was like, "All right."
Wait a minute.
So I had to fake a Tajikistan accent. Tajikistan. It's a real place. It's a real place. It's not like Borat, Tajikistan. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, real.
So
Actually, I played two characters. One of them got killed. One of my characters got killed.
Wait a minute.
Basically, I was playing Taliban. So I got the brown skin, slanted eyes to play Taliban, and they shot me.
Is that what
they shot me?
That's what the
My,
movie.
but I had this other role where I was actually speaking. I was just like one of the lieutenants, and I'm like, we must go to the police. Everything is big loss. I'm messing it up, but it looks good. It looks good. It's on Amazon Prime, 2017, Unfallen.
Unfallen. I'm gonna find
I
this.
play. I forgot the name of the character. But yeah, I mean, I got
Unfallen.
it. Yeah.
So I just want to make sure I got this clear. You go to visit the set, see Buddy, check it out, and they just look at you and like, "Hey, he can play a terrorist."
Yeah. Yeah, just my look.
You look like a pretty good looking terrorist.
Yeah, you look.
Wait a minute.
I mean, some women want to have sex with me. Some people want me to blow some stuff up.
I mean,
Whatever, man.
Either way, we blowing something up.
Yeah, I'm beating it
Either
up.
way, something's getting
I'm
blown.
getting in there. I'm getting them wet, son. Getting them wet.
Listen, I just want you guys out there to fathom that real quick. So you walk into a movie set, just visit your friends, say, "Hey, this looks good."
Yeah.
The director comes up, "Hey, man, you look like you can play a
The
good terrorist."
director, star of the movie, and writer. Yes.
You look
Yeah,
like
he was
you've
like,
been a
"Oh,
good terrorist. Come on in, man."
Yeah.
I mean, but you know what? What an opportunity.
Like I said, I don't turn down opportunities until after I realize what it could be.
I mean, this is conversation now. You think about it. Dang, you look like a really good terrorist. But did they give you the whole?
I got to wrap up and then do. Yeah.
I gotta see this now.
Oh.
And I
I mean, because I'm like in the outfit, going, and then, pra. Oh. I got the.
I still can't wrap the whole. Just the initial walking in. Hey man, I think he looked like a good terrorist,
Dude.
and for me, so I've been to combat. All right, I've been to combat. So for me, and I've been to Afghanistan.
Okay.
All right. So when somebody says he looks like a terrorist, so in my mind, I'm like, well, what the fuck does a terrorist look like? Because they all look the same.
Look like me? Wait.
So wait a minute. You get
I
what?
gotta have my nose out a little bit.
So according to Hollywood,
No, dude. Okay, so this is the dude that did it. He's from Tajikistan.
Okay.
He wrote it, and he's the one, and his boy are like, yeah,
already
he
knew.
could fit in. He could fit in. Yeah. I was just like, all right.
But you know what though? What an opportunity! Because
Yeah.
you can literally say that now for like you know what? I got to play a terrorist in a movie. What'd you do?
Yeah. No, seriously. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! So we got the book out. You're starring in movies. Both. So both the movie and the book is on Amazon.
Yeah.
Anywhere
Apparently, I
else?
love Amazon. Pacific Northwest, baby.
Representing,
Yeah.
Amazon does some good stuff here, providing a lot of jobs. They're building everywhere.
Oh, I've done at least 3 Amazon buildings.
Yeah,
actually, I lost my pinky at an Amazon facility.
You want to tell that story about your pinky?
Oh, okay. If you really want to.
It'd be rolling.
Sure. Since we're talking about it. Okay, so...
I mean, the book is Why Daddy Can't Count to Tens.
Yeah. And,
you got 9.5.
It does talk about it a little bit, yeah. Well, basically...
Hold on.
Okay, so the story is basically from my son's point of view.
Okay.
Because he was about 5, 6 when I lost my pinky. And it was one of those things where it was like... It was just a bad day.
Right.
Because lots of things were supposed to happen that day. Like, that day was his mom's birthday. She's passed away.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, she was horrible. We're both happier.
This is where I get kissed.
Dude. If I tell you about this one, you'd be like, bro, you should have gotten
all the signs.
All the signs were there. Oh, why? No, so it was her birthday that day, but it was my day to have my son.
Of course.
And I would never, ever give up any of my son's time. I'll take some of your time,
right,
but you're not getting any of my time.
Right.
So it was just like, all right, you can do your birthday celebration, and then I'm going to get my son. All right. Where's my boy? I'm going to pick him up.
Precious.
Yeah. My precious. He's my only blood. Yeah.
Wash your finger instead.
Okay, so all this was supposed to happen that evening. Then my best friend was coming into town because she was teaching in like Korea, and so she was going to show me her new boyfriend and get my okay, So I was like, all right,
get your approval.
Get my approval, And I was like, big deal, because it's like she got to check with her dad and me.
That's
I
mean. That's good.
Yeah.
You need that nowadays.
Yeah. Shout out Cody. Anyway.
Hey,
Cody. So this particular job, like I said, was an Amazon building. It was in Kent, Washington, and we're doing the superstructure because I'm an iron worker, and I was connecting. Connecting is kind of the high-profile job for an iron worker. So me and this young guy half my age, connecting. And he's like 20-something, and I'm 40-something at the time. So I'm trying to keep up. But we're doing 10-hour days. It was 90 degrees out, and it was like third day on the job. So it was Wednesday. And the fabricators didn't do these beams correctly because they were like just off just a little bit. So they're really, really difficult to get in. So I was working up high by myself. These guys had connected the bottom piece, and the crane was bringing it into position, and it was a tight spot. But I'm the better guy, so I'm working the hard spot.
Right.
So I'm working and working. It's not going in. It's just barely. But I can just tweak it, Just get it. And I'm telling them to come up on the crane while I'm holding it. My hand's in the slot. Come up. But it's not coming up. And I'm holding it. It's not coming up. We didn't know that the jewel of the choker that was holding on to the piece was caught on this flange, and that's why it wasn't going up.
So
and I'm like, come on,
bound up as it was.
Yeah, it's bound up, so it's not going up. And then about 2,000 pounds of pressure or something like that, and it finally gives. And when it gave, boom, and I'm pretty fast. I'm pretty quick, and every other time I've been in that situation, I can get my hands free. Not this time. It happened too fast, too quick.
Pressure on that.
And then, boom, chopped it, and then pulled it out. Just
Was you wearing gloves or?
Yeah, I was wearing gloves. The glove was a little bloody. Looked like it was a little cut through, but it's basically like like those old, maybe not in your age, but when I was a kid, they would cut paper with this big guillotine paper slicer. They used to have those.
Yeah.
Well, it cut it like that.
Oh,
you know how sometimes you would cut it with that, and you have that piece of paper that was just. That's what happened to my finger.
Of course, because it wasn't a solid.
Yeah,
it was
and I thought I lost 2, but I only lost the 1, and it was dangling by a tendon. So at this lunchtime, they take me to the hospital, and while I'm in there, and the jokes in the book aren't part of my set. In my set, this stuff really did happen, where I go in. My boss is there. I'm wearing construction clothes, and the lady is like, "Hey, what do you? Well, lost my finger." And she was like, "Well, got to ask you some questions." Okay. Are you depressed? I'm like,
I'm coming off the job.
Yeah,
Of course
I just cut my finger. You see me bleeding right here.
I'm still in.
I'm pretty. Oh wait, maybe I'm in shock. Maybe I'm not depressed, but yeah, I'm.
Am I depressed?
Second question, honest to God, the lady was like, "Was this an attempted suicide?" My finger is a. Who's killing themselves like this? Answer me that.
One pinky at a time. Just
Well, yeah, one piece at a time. And I said that at my stand-up. One piece at a time? Really, lady? You couldn't just think, hey, this is not an appropriate question to ask.
Just check it off.
I don't think this is a mental issue here. I think this is an actual work accident.
Who's shipping themselves off?
Yeah, just like, oh, I hate me so much right now. Oh, all better.
And then come to the hospital.
Yeah, this is at the hospital. This is at the hospital. This is in the triage. This is in the front.
What I'm saying is, why would I show up to the hospital if I was trying to kill myself one piece at a time?
Well, somebody brought me. You know, they could have made me. I was trying. You ruined it. You meanie.
Stop me from bleeding
Yeah,
out.
stop me. Yeah.
There's better ways. There's better ways.
Way better ways.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Then, okay, the lady was asking all kinds of dumb questions. Then she was like, do you have insurance? I said, this is a work injury. No.
Come on
Well,
now.
we need it. I said, okay, fine. Obamacare. That's my insurance. One way or the other, the government's paying for this.
Right. This is
She was like,
on the job.
well, that's not funny. Well, stop asking me stupid questions.
Right.
You know?
They know better.
Yeah. But
I mean, and this is still triage. They hadn't even worked on you yet.
They haven't even worked on me. But this is the thing. It was a trip. It happened so fast, and it basically cauterized my thing. It crushed it so completely. It cauterized, so there was no bleeding. The only blood was like in the tip of my finger, so I wasn't bleeding all over the place. And actually, I didn't even need any pain medicine right away.
Really?
They still gave me some, and that was the only thing that actually hurt, was when the needle went super deep so they could play with it and clean it and all that kind of stuff. And then they scheduled it the next day to have it completely amputated and cleaned up. Oh. Yeah, so that happened at lunch. So I finally get to my car at 4 o'clock. You know, my friend thought I stood her up, and I didn't really want to meet her friend.
Right.
And then I'm all mad, and I was dating this girl at this time. And so...
And it was your ex-wife's birthday.
It was my ex-wife's birthday. And I didn't have my son.
You didn't have your son.
I didn't have my son. So I was all alone. And then this girl broke up with me basically after seeing that because she... What? Okay, so what happened was...
What?
When it happened, I took off my glove and I took a picture of it instantly with my phone because everybody vacated. Fortunately, somebody actually got the boss who. So by the time I got my tools off and out of the genie lift and the boom lift, he was like right there. But by that time, I took a picture of it because I'm sitting in the truck and then I posted it on Facebook. Look what happened at work today, And then I got like 100 and something comments. And then comedians were talking trash all the way through it, Some people were sad, but most people were talking trash because they're all comedians. And then she saw that and it was like, why didn't you call me? Why didn't you tell me anything about it? And I was like, well,
a picture?
Yeah. I posted a picture. What do you want? Well, you should have. I'm like, no. I had other people to call first. She's like, well, I didn't know you were in such dangerous work. I was like, your ex-husband was a cop.
I'm an iron worker, lady. What do you mean?
In fact, I met her because her sister's husband is an iron worker, and she like black guys. So I'm just like, easy, I'm in. You know, so,
in there.
She got a type, and I'm that type.
So she left you because you didn't tell her before you told Facebook?
Well, yeah. And plus, it was a dangerous job. But she was married to a cop.
That was just an excuse.
You know, it totally was an excuse. But it's like, don't tell me that stuff. And this freak. I'm saying freak because she was into gunplay. Yeah. Wait, you're into gunplay and me losing the finger's too dangerous? B. Nah. You did me a favor. Thank you.
Dodge that bullet.
Yeah.
Huh?
Literally.
No pun intended. No gun intended.
No gun intended.
Jesus. What a life, man.
Yeah, so that was, and then I was off for 2 weeks. Then they put me back on the job, and it was funny because, well, L&I's got this thing where, you know, you rehabilitate better back on the job. And so I was back on the job, and
Wait,
my hand.
Say that again?
Huh?
L&I says what?
L&I says you rehabilitate better on the job.
That just sounds like some slave labor type shit. We know you're hurt, but you're going to heal faster if you get back to work. We know you got hurt on the job, but production, baby, production.
Seriously.
You rehabilitate better if you go back to the same job that lost your finger.
The statistics aren't wrong. The statistics aren't wrong.
Mentally,
because
mentally, you
mentally. But most people, if they're in pain and stuff like, they're taking pain pills, sitting out the house, their health goes down. You know, so I mean, there's
some
value
benefits.
in it. There's value in it.
Yeah, there's some benefits to it.
Yeah, there's some benefits to it. And I was still getting a full paycheck anyway, so it was like I got to keep on doing things and being active. You know, like we talked about, being active no matter what.
I just think they might want to restructure some of their wording there. Rehabilitation faster.
Yeah.
But it does make sense if you really think about it, you know. Because I remember after my first surgery on my foot, I was sitting at home. I had 30 days off of, or 30 days of convalescent leave. I was still in the Army. And I just sat at home for 30 days.
Yeah, but you need to walk on it, you know. You needed to get it back in motion.
Yeah.
You know?
After about a week, I was moving again. I couldn't.
Yeah, good.
I couldn't just sit there. Like my ex-wife was getting pissed at me for how much I was moving around. You know what I mean? Because I can't just sit there. 30 days just sitting here.
Well,
I couldn't do it.
I was actually working with a guy, broke his foot at work. So he like got on light duty, but this fool had to do his 10,000 steps a day.
Oh, hell, hold on, that's a little different.
and so every day he would take off his boot, take a picture. Look how it's swelling. Yeah, because you're walking stairs.
You're forcing
Look,
it.
None of us had broken ankles, and we were taking the elevator. But he's walking the stairs.
7, 8, 10 flights of stairs.
Yeah. No, he was just staying on light duty by doing that stuff.
Yeah, he extended out because it's still swollen.
Yeah, swollen again. Oh no, I guess I better drink and take my pills.
Yep. I've seen those people.
But, I've seen it too.
And they're all throughout the military. You see them, the profile writers and whatnot, and they do the same thing.
Oh,
they do the same thing.
Civil people do the same thing. So,
I mean, this is no matter what profession you go to.
Right.
You're going to find, and like you said, we want to find the easiest way to get the job done. But when you put in that extra effort to doing whatever work you're doing, it does come out better. It comes out better. Your product comes out better. You like it more, right? I mean, how long did it really take you to write a book?
Okay, so like I said, this was a rewrite. So I had 2 different people edit it, and then another person kind of edit it.
What gave you the idea for doing it in a children's book? Because
it was easier.
I guess that makes sense. You can be honest. You can be honest, right?
It's going to be easy.
It's easier.
Okay. I mean, because how many comedians do you seen put out a book?
No.
I mean, if anything, they put out a novel. Why I'm so funny? You can do it too. I'm so,
easy steps.
Yeah, but I mean, based on my comedy, because it's already a funny set, and then in this, it's cute and funny, and then adorable little pictures.
It's relatable.
Yeah, it's relatable.
There's other iron workers missing digits out there that have kids,
but they're people that in lots of different things losing a digit. And ever since I've been doing the joke, people always tell me about what they're losing or who they knew they lost
digit
something.
Loss story?
I've gotten jobs because like one lady, she was missing a pinky, so this guy does this. I'm hiring him.
You know what you should do? You should do your own little set and have those people talk to you about their stories, about their missing digits. Turn that into a set.
Oh,
that's a whole set. Actually, that's a whole set. You got random people emailing you about their missing digits.
Oh, no. They would tell me in person. They wouldn't.
That's a whole set.
The funniest one, though, I ever had, because like when I was first doing it, I'm sitting there doing the joke, and then this guy up front kept on stomping his foot. I'm like,
as far as
ignoring. I'm like, why? All right. Why are you stomping your? Oh, so he's got like a prosthetic from here down. I'm complaining about my missing pinky, and he's like,
whole leg missing.
Tell me more, brother. Tell me more. How hard is it for you? Then I go on. Then I go on and say, all right, you got me. Then after the set, he tells me, I was wondering when you were going to acknowledge it, and I was like, okay. So what happened? So your story must be better. He goes in because he had high blood pressure. Goes to sleep, wakes up, missing leg.
Oh, no.
They put him out for like 3-4 days, did all this stuff to him, then amputated it. He didn't even know. He woke up with a nub.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I was like, that is messed up.
So he probably had like blood clots and whatnot in his leg, and they...
Something was going on.
If you go in like that and they don't even tell you, they just got to...
Yeah, they just put you under for a week, and you lose a week and a leg. Yeah, not cool.
No.
Actually, that reminds me, there's this very funny comedian, Kane Lopez, rest in peace. He's got this amazing joke on the same thing, or something similar, where Kaiser, such a terrible hospital, and how he goes in for one thing, and he's in anesthesia, and they're trying to cut the wrong leg, and he's like...
Trying to tell...
The way he does the joke is amazing. Oh, one of the nicest comedians I ever met. Oh, I met him in like Tacoma, like before he passed. But he was like super cool, giving me tips, talking to me, just chopping it up. One of the nicest guys as a headliner that I've met ever. You know, telling me old stories, how it was trying to get shows where they would have their girlfriend act like they're their secretary, and then have them take their VHS tape of their sets into the play without just doing hustles like that just to get.
You got to.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah. But it's just still fun to hear those stories, you know. I mean, very few people have them because they pulled it off, But just to hear it, it's like, yeah, that's cool.
I mean, getting there is the story.
Yeah.
Getting there is the stuff.
But that's a good idea. I think I will do that. I think I will do that.
Think about that.
Because there's another time, because it was like over and over again, people telling me the story. This one I thought was pretty funny. White guy, he apparently dunks at a basketball college. Oh, it doesn't matter. He dunks and then comes down with a missing ring finger.
Ooh.
It just degloved the whole finger. I'm like, how does that
Was he wearing
happen?
a ring? Was he wearing his ring?
Yeah, he was wearing a ring. It took off the whole thing.
Oh.
And so they had to take off. So he was like, I really got the shocker. I was like, bro.
He said, take out the shocker.
Yeah, he's like, I got to do it with this one. Yeah, I was just like, and he did. He was worse off than me.
Dang.
And they actually gave me the option of taking the whole bone out. Just so I had that.
Just the four?
Yeah. It probably would have been better, but don't tell me after.
I think I mean, I'm not sure, but you could still kind of grip a little bit, right?
No.
I couldn't imagine that would be harder.
Well, part of the problem is the day I decided I was going to divorce my wife, I took off my ring and I got this finger caught in a magnetic drill, and it broke that with a radial fracture.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. And if I had my ring on, I would have lost the finger. Then I would have had the shocker.
Lord.
And then years later, I mean, so much damage to this hand.
Like the Penguin Man from that
Batman
movie.
I mean, that's all the mobility I really have. Yeah. I just
take my strong hand.
I can't put my finger on it.
Just take the strong.
Well, you're not gonna push me around. I love those jokes, man. I think that was the funniest part of that movie.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Oh man, yeah, because it was not a very good movie. It was a terrible movie.
I'm glad that it was made, though. I'm glad that it was made because
I am too.
You can watch it now and just laugh because it's so terrible.
Yeah,
it's like I rewatched all the Austin Powers lately, and I'm just like, you know what? These are really not that good, but they're funny. They're just stupid funny, and I'm just, it's something to just get away from the monotony and just relax and laugh. That's what I feel about comedy and going to a live comedy show, because I know going into there, I'm going in here for one reason, and that is to try to laugh.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going here to try to laugh. Like, I want to laugh.
Yeah, but that's the thing about laughter. You don't have to try. It just
don't.
is.
I don't, right? But if
you have to try to be happy, you have to try to be mad, you have to try to be in love. Comedy, you don't have to try.
But there are guaranteed places I can go that I know I'm going to leave out of there with a laugh. That's the beauty of having this as its own profession,
right?
As opposed to just entertaining, right? Because anybody can be an entertainer, right? I might be able to set up a couple good punchlines while I'm doing karaoke or hosting or whatnot, right? But it's not the same as doing a whole 10-minute set. That's a whole different monster. Telling a whole 10-minute set is a whole different monster. So getting out there, doing that comedy, coming to a show where someone's put in that time, I know there are other people that feel the same way.
Oh, no, I feel the same way, too.
We're going there for the one intention, and that's to laugh. I want to laugh.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing, man.
But it gets hard. What a beautiful
way to make a living. You know what I mean? What a beautiful thing to do.
Yeah, but it's such a struggle.
If you say it like, I'm a comedian, I do stand-up comedy. What if you said, I bring joy to people's lives? I make people's belly jiggle by laughing. There's different ways of presenting yourself than saying, I'm a comedian. You know what I mean? What do you do for a living or on the side? What's your side hustle? I bring the best joy to people in an hour or less. You see what I mean? Just that little bit of marketing right there.
That's a whole different.
It sounds so much better.
Joy.
I bring
an hour or less.
An hour or less, I can bring you the joy you need. What the hell does that mean? Come see me at my show. Boom.
Yeah, then you get a bunch of middle-aged women thinking they're going to be a stripper.
And then they turn out, and then you act like that and do a little thing. Just got you, bitch. Now we're laughing. And now she's buying your tickets.
Okay.
I'm just saying, there's no one approach to anything, right? There's 10 different ways to skin a cat, right? Or many different ways to skin a cat.
All right.
Think about it.
I get it.
You got your digits. You got your digit story. You got your, I mean.
Oh yeah, no, I've got a lot of material, and it's just like just working it out, just working it out.
You said you plan on making it a full time if you can.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal.
You got some big shows coming up.
Yes. Well, yes and no. I've got a show tonight in Portland, so I'll be hitting that. And today's July 1st, so you won't find about it. But on July 27th, I'll be hosting a new show at the Owl Lounge in Tacoma. The Owl Lounge. It's a hookah bar. Yeah. Okay. So I'll be hosting that show. It's going to be twice a month there. The other shows I haven't found out about because I've been told about them, but I haven't gotten the flyer, so it's not a done deal yet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have like a road manager, or you just do everything yourself?
No, I do everything myself. There's some people I work with, and just email the producers and the clubs that I want to work at, and try to get the shows.
Okay. Well, I do that open mic every Friday. I'm going to continue to do that.
I'm going to do my best to get there as much as possible.
Whenever you can, I would love for you to come by.
Yeah, so I had to make a choice. Get my because I had 200 more calories to burn by walking. So that's a good hour. Mm-hmm. So it was like either that or go to your open mic. Well, I had to do my body first.
I'll bring an exercise bike or a treadmill next time.
Next time, just
hey, while I'm telling y'all this joke, I get my steps in at the same time. This motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm on a weight loss journey.
You look good. You said 51.
Yeah,
you look good, man.
Thank you.
They say this black don't crack.
Oh, that's what they say, but I've seen it. I've seen it.
You seen it? You seen it?
I've seen it crack. I've seen it. My older brother's like 5 years older than me, but at my age, he was like looking like my grandfather.
No way.
My son thought it was my grandfather.
Oh, no.
Oh, he looked terrible.
Who's this old dude coming around?
Yeah, who's this old dude? Because we went down to Disneyland, and he had never met my brother before. Because it was like we had kind of a falling out, and I just don't mess with some people that way. So, but I was like, it was not too long after our father died. So I was like, all right. He's got some stuff that my dad he might give me, so I'll say hi. You know, because like I said, my dad was a musician, so he had like some harmonicas and a couple of guitars. And lovingly, my brother did. After I gave him money, sent it to me. Oh, wow. So I got a couple of guitars, and I just started learning. Kind of an homage kind of thing. But he had some harmonicas, and I was like, all right, let me get those. So I will contact you. And then he comes around just breathing all heavy, just 300 pounds looking, fat neck, gray hair, snot coming out, smell like a nursing home. And I'm like,
get the formaldehyde coming.
Yeah, he's like, and then my son's like, oh, hello.
This old ass dude.
And then he was like, was that your granddad? I was like, no, that was my older brother.
Oh, no.
Oh.
This old crusty snot.
Yeah, crusty old, nasty old 12 sandwich eating.
No!
Diabetes, going to get your foot cut off.
I went to the
COPD.
I woke up and my foot was gone. Blood pressure came out with diabetes in that foot.
So that was a good reminder. Just like, get my stuff together. And then I wound up having a few health issues of myself. After COVID, during COVID, I wound up getting sleep apnea, pre-diabetic.
All the things,
got pre-diverticulosis.
What?
It's when your colon gets all messed up around the same time because colon cancer runs in my family, so it's like that was an issue. Then testicular cancer, all within a year.
Wow.
So after that, I'm like, I'm getting my stuff together. I'm getting my stuff together. So, no, I'm not going out like that.
How do you feel now? Like
right now, I feel pretty great. I've since. Yeah. Since all that stuff, I've lost 50 pounds. Good. I've got another 35 to go.
Just diet and exercise?
Diet and exercise. Walking with a weighted vest.
Right.
Doing so many steps.
Keeping the heart rate going.
Keeping the heart rate up. Eating better. Important. It's so important. Like we were talking about, you got to keep active. I wasn't being active.
Well, let me tell you this. A year ago, I was 285 pounds.
Woo! My heaviest was 240, and I'm short, so I was like, ugh.
I didn't realize it. I went to the doctor. It was 20, so almost 2 years now. Mm-hmm. It was October of 2021. Mm-hmm. I went to the VA and I get my my annual, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to get the shot?" And I'm like, "Absolutely not." And he's like, "Okay. Well, your fat ass needs to lose some weight." I have this old Korean doctor. Okay, at the time, he's this old Korean doctor at the VA, and he's blunt. Okay, these are his exact words: "You're too fat. You need to lose weight, or you're gonna die." And I was just like, "All right, you're too fat. You need to lose weight, or you're gonna die. If you're not gonna get the shot, you need to lose weight." And I'm like,
"And you're talking about the COVID shot?"
Yeah. I'm like, fair enough.
See, I got that and the booster, but it's only because I wanted to go to Italy.
And that's so bad how they did you? That's so bad how they did people.
I
feel like they should have never coerced people to do that. If you want to travel or if you want to work, then you have to do this. For personal and for other reasons that I can't really speak about, I knew better.
Oh no, I've been against vaccines for the law. In fact, I was a volunteer firefighter in 2011, and I was going to get kicked out because I wasn't going to take the flu shot.
Really?
Yeah.
The flu shot?
The flu shot.
I refused the flu shot in the Army, and they made me go see my primary care manager because I refused.
Not even doctor, primary care manager.
Not even a doctor. The primary care manager for our battalion, right? Our unit, so they can try to convince me. Little do they know, I do my research. I had just had a newborn, not even 6 months old yet. And instead of them giving us the flu shots, they're giving us the live virus in the nose so we can all get sick. Right? I know better. I have a brand newborn, not even 6 months old. I'm not giving her a live virus in my house. Like, that is the first thing they tell you not to do. A dead virus? Okay. You can build up a better tolerance at a younger age. That live virus will put you out. She was like 3 months old. And they were like, "No, you're going to get this spray." I said, "No, you ain't spraying me with them." And I happened. Went to the PA, our primary care manager, sat down. He was like, "So, I hear you don't want to get the influenza nasal spray." They do their whole talk. I said, "Doc, I got a 3-month-old daughter. I ain't getting it." It's like, "Well, the stipulation cutoff is about 4 to 6. I said, "My daughter's 3 months old. I don't care about no 4 to 6 months." This is the Army, so I'm thinking if I refuse it, I'm thinking
Yeah.
Sure enough, he was like, "Okay, well, you're right. Your daughter's good enough. Good enough. Check you off. Don't have to get it." And it made me think, if I'm able to do that in the Army while on active duty, I know where I'm able to push the boundaries and things like that. All right? Got out of the military. I was working for Boeing, doing their head of security. They made it mandatory. Then I was like, I'm not doing this. Because at this time, I've been cleared and known things that I shouldn't be knowing. And I'm like, all of us that were working were like, nope. Because we all knew better. But we can't say shit. Nothing we can do. Nothing we can say or do. So it was pretty bad. They made us pretty much prove to the Boeing company, these are individuals in interns and shit, prove our religious or medical exemptions to them.
Yeah.
That's where I knew things were getting funny. I was like, so this 19-year-old kid that you guys just hired is going to be the one signing off yes or no and doesn't even know me, and I have to prove to them I don't need this job that bad. But when I told them that, and I showed them, here's my exemption, they didn't like it. But they allowed you to do it. I didn't get fired for it either.
Nice.
I just think, but a lot of people didn't realize that. And they just went ahead, I got to keep my job, I got to do this. And that was bad. Like forcing people to do it just to keep their job.
Yeah.
It's like
it was definitely an experiment. on how to get people to do some stuff.
It was
but
a lot bigger than just the shot.
Oh, it was way bigger than that. Yeah.
So many people didn't realize it.
Oh, no, I realized it. But
I think for a lot of, honestly, I'll be honest, I think a lot of people got fucking placebo shots. I don't think they actually got some shots. Some people did.
That is the speculation that I have as well.
I think a lot of people were just getting
buzzed.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Because I've seen some people that have no reactions perfectly fine. I'm thinking, okay, but then there's a lot of people that.
Well, but it wasn't for everybody. I mean, it was. But anyway.
Yeah. But if you say that,
look.
But if you say that.
I took the shot so I can go to Italy, and I,
how was it?
Amazing.
I'd never been.
I've
never been.
The only disturbing thing that happened to me was I met a woman from Kenya in Florence, and she looked at me and said, "Why didn't you go home first? You're supposed to go home first, not to these European countries."
Oh. Did it make you think?
Yeah. It stung a little bit.
Didn't it?
Stung a little bit. Yeah.
I've thought about that. I did my 23andMe a couple years last year. Mm-hmm. And it really made me think, like, dang, I should just once.
I'm going to go 2025. After my son graduates and is 18, I'm going to go for a month. And I'm going to go to Ghana.
Is that where you originate from or family from?
Well, okay, I've never done 23andMe because as a conspiracy theorist.
Ooh, we can talk conspiracies.
Okay. My sister did 23andMe. We have the same parents, so I went by hers.
That's fair enough.
Hers was like 40% Nigerian. Mm-hmm. And here's an interesting fact. Average penis size in Nigeria is 10 inches. But I'm 40% Nigerian.
So you got 40% that size? Hey, just for you guys out there, I'm 85% Nigerian, just so you know. You brought it up.
Hey, I told that because when I was going for my sleep apnea machine, my son said, when I told him that joke, my son said, "I'm 100% Nigerian. You cannot be more Nigerian than me. You cannot be." But apparently you are. Okay. Everybody's more Nigerian.
All of a sudden.
Yeah.
Once you bring out that undisputable fact, everybody Nigerian.
I said average. You could be bigger. I'm just saying. You could be 120% Nigerian. I don't know.
I'm just saying.
With your white mom.
But he's more than you. He's got more than you.
The guy that I went to for my sleep apnea machine, Nigerian, and I told him that, and he was like,
Lord.
"You are not a big man."
Just went straight to your face. Not a big man.
I was like, boy.
Okay. Oh, 40p. 40%.
But he did laugh harder on his way out, man. I was just like,
that's
God
crazy.
damn. Speaking of Nigerians, I'm going to go see Godfrey next week at Tacoma Comedy Club.
I've yet to go there yet. Is it nice? Tacoma Comedy Club? I've gotten mixed.
Well, I've got my own issues with the place, but they're changing to a different location.
As a performer?
As a performer and a comedian. But it's a very nice venue. Some great comedians are there, or what they have there.
I've gotten. They've given me a lot of free tickets to promote and stuff for them, and
Super Funny Comedy Club does that too.
I've given away a lot of tickets, but I've never actually gone. I gotta go.
Yes, you do.
I gotta go. I gotta get out more, but I'm always working and stuff.
Well, but you don't just take an evening and find one of your favorite comedians and go see them.
Well, what I want to do,
Because like last weekend, I don't know how you feel about. Oh, damn! I can't think of his name now. The guy that is like Rick James, bitch. That guy.
Oh,
yeah. He was at the Super Funny Comedy Club last weekend.
Okay, I'm gonna have to give him a call.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna give him a call because I want to scout some guys, see if they want to come over to the open mic every once in a while, and be interested in sharing some of their story. I want to talk to more locals here. I want to talk to more people that are doing something here. I want to put us on the map.
Well, the owner of Nate Jackson's Super Funny Comedy Club is from Lacey.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I know him.
Nate Jackson.
I know him.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, because he's from here, right? He went to
his dad still lives up the street.
I'm pretty sure I know who he is. I didn't know he owned the club.
Yeah.
Really?
Nate Jackson. From the Nate Jackson Super Funny. He used to do the Nate Jackson Super Funny Comedy Show. And he just did the club. I actually did a bunch of the metal work in there. I did all the handrails and stuff in there. Hung the curtains and stuff. So I literally helped build that place.
You still got problems with it,
Huh?
huh? I'm gonna have to reach out to him.
I don't hang out there as much as I could, and that's one of the reasons why I'm not performing there as much.
But there's like no.
But there's a lot of
here.
places to perform at, and I need to get paid.
I haven't seen any real comedy clubs here other than that one.
That one, there's the Tacoma Comedy Club, which now has like 2 locations. Super Funny Comedy Club. That's down on the south end. That's all that's around here. And then you got Comedy Nights. But up in Seattle, there's Laughs. There's a couple of more on Capitol Hill.
You thinking of opening up your own one day?
No.
Mm-mm. Never thought of it?
No. Well, I have, but not in the way that's been done. I would. My old vision of the place would be to have basically downstairs where it's a performing arts area for kids to
work their stuff
out from every discipline, everything from art to dance to music to comedy, and have it like the Boys and Girls Club, but only for artists.
Yeah.
If you can't do anything, get out.
I'm not wasting time here.
Yeah, you practice your instrument, DJing, whatever. And
as
then
long as you're working.
And at night, it'd be a comedy club / music venue.
Entertainment.
A
lounge.
And then upstairs would be my bachelor pad.
Okay.
Yeah. That's. Oh, I've had that vision since I was a teenager. And
what's stopping you?
Money.
Just doing it.
Money and kids get on my nerves, mostly.
Well,
but it's mostly the money.
But you wouldn't be doing it by yourself either.
No, I probably wouldn't.
Well, if you're thinking of running a place with that kind of stuff,
it would have to be a community
people to help.
I mean, because most places you have, if you have a music center, but there's not like a place for young people of like-minded disciplines to congregate.
That's exactly why I do them open mic.
No, I see what you're saying. That's why I think.
Yesterday, those boys, they come in, they have their own band, Cracklands, and they performed a new song again. So now they have like 4 or 5 songs that they've created.
Oh wow!
In less than 3 months. And I'm like, if we keep going at this rate, we're gonna actually be able to record a whole album for these guys. At 17 to 16 years old, they have that kind of potential.
Well, all they have to do is just do one song and put it out.
Exactly. I mean, I'm going to help them with that.
I bet
I'm going to help them with that. I have to.
You are.
I have to. It's about the kids, and especially, I was talking to his uncle yesterday. It ain't like that.
Right.
Hey, man.
It ain't about the aunties. They don't got them aunties or single moms. You know trying to help out.
There's all these. They come on over. You know what I'm saying?
Come on. Hey, where's your mom, man?
Bring your mama. Bring your mama.
Make sure your mom drops you off and tell her to say hi.
They just end up staying.
Mm-hmm.
They stay every time.
Just for the kids, man.
It's for the kids, man.
It's for the kids.
It's for the kids.
For the kids.
They're gonna be. Hey,
and if their mom can be entertained later,
why not?
It is what it is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, mama needs time too. She gotta cut loose every once in a while.
Yeah, she needs some of that 85% Nigerian. 85%.
Pull out my 23andMe real quick. As a matter of fact, I think it's close to 90. Eh?
You know, sometimes it's 87%
on a good day.
But that's when she's super hot.
Depends on how she makes you feel.
In that sundress, it might be 89%.
You already know. You ready to wrap this up, man?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
We got 2 hours, 7 minutes.
Yeah, that's a good time. That's a good time. I gotta hit the road.
Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back till next week. Or at least we're doing open mic. Tomorrow we got the car show.
He's not a singer.
You should have seen me yesterday. These kids had me singing like 8, 9 different songs yesterday.
Oh yeah?
And because I can do voice acting, I can kind of like change my pitch. So
I
can't
wait till I do that. Yeah.
I did the Timon and Pumbaa Hakuna Matata, right? So
wait, you did both parts?
Yeah, I did.
Hakuna Matata. It means no worries for the rest of your day. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I sounded way better than that. See, that's the version of Lion King from Wish.com, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys want to get that from Wish, you go ahead and get this version from Wish.
No, Temu. It's from the new Temu.
Yeah, Temu, Wish, and if you guys want to, check it out on Amazon. Yeah. He's got all the...
Yeah, that's the Amazon, though. That's the Amazon. That's not the Wish. That's not the Wish.com. That's Amazon.
Oh, that's funny. Ladies and gentlemen, so we got our friend Amos Mack here, comedian, single father, author, movie star, you name it, he's done it all.
Yeah.
And still working with the iron at 70% Nigerian?
40%.
40. I was giving you 30%, man.
Hey, no, don't fake it. Don't fake it. I'm 40% Nigerian.
I'm trying to hook you up with 30%.
Hey, but I'm funny, though. I'm funny and 40. That's it is. Yeah.
You said that 40p, but I'm funny.
Yeah, exactly. I'm funny. I'll make you feel good on the inside, mostly on the outside.
Either way. Either way,
I'll get your insides, but from laughter.
So as long as they're laughing while we do it,
I'll tickle your ribs. I'll tickle your ribs, but not through the tunnel. Not through the tunnel, but I tickle, but not on the inside.
Oh no!
A belly roll, but not on the inside. Not on the inside.
Oh no! Well, be sure you guys come check out his material. He'll be performing tonight in Portland. This is July 1st.
Yeah, but you won't make it tonight because it's like literally in 4 hours. No, 5 hours. I'm doing that show.
Well, either way, he's performing. Check him out. He's got TikTok, Instagram. Yeah. Shoot me those
Amos
links.
Mack. Yeah.
Shoot me those links, and what I'll do when I edit this, I'll throw them on the screen.
Sounds
so
good.
They can all reach out and follow you and all that good stuff.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate you coming by and talking with me, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. This is fun.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
And this is work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We just get to kick back and do it. I like this. So if you're interested, man, I would love to come do another podcast with you again. Just keep chatting, man.
Yeah, let's
keep this thing going and talk about what we're doing in the community and getting out there. Because
I'm not doing anything in the community.
If you're doing comedy in the community, you're doing something. You're bringing laughter to the community.
Jokes and then I go home.
That's something.
Some
people just show up and watch, and they ain't doing nothing else.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's what sets you apart.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
You guys heard it here first.
Yeah.
Peace out, y'all. It's been all in a day's work.
Bye.
Peace.